Welcome back to My Bride is a Mermaid Anime Review Part 7. Yeah, this is going to be my last video for the series, unless somehow some studio picks it up and say, oh yeah, we're going to adapt the rest of the series. Yep, this one covering the two OVAs, and I'll get my final thoughts on the anime as a whole. Now, names of these two animes are Jin and Ji. And here's the thing about the two OVAs. The first one, basically, these OVAs got two stories apiece. In the case of the first one, it's, from what I can tell, complete anime original, because I don't know where this is in the manga. It could be like later on, I may not have seen it. But the second story is from chapter 18, and they adapt the whole thing for that one. The second OVA adapts some bits and pieces from a couple different chapters. We'll get to that one soon. The first story is basically the violent classroom. Yep. Starts the premise normally with starting out the third year of middle school, which, like, okay, fine. And pretty much, like, everybody except Nagasaki gets to move up into the same classroom. Nagasaki, for some strange reason, was put into a class of delinquents. Yeah, this is done on purpose because Kozaburo hates Nagasaki's guts. Oh, and who's the homework teacher in this classroom? Why, it's Sharky. Yes, Sharky. And what does he want? And what's his first lesson? Have all these kids try to kill each other. And there's an emperor in the classroom. Yeah, and then we have Sun, Lunar, and Akano, who comes a little bit later, goes to rescue him. And, like, they proceed to, like, of course, Nagasaki gets basically beats up the emperor. And, of course, Akano, it's kind of hinted Akano is developing feelings for him. Yes, Akano, the younger sister of Masa. Yep, and he turns to sea, and that's pretty much it. Second story is simply put, Nagasaki and Sun go on a date to movie theater. Now, this particular one is adapted from chapter 18, and there's like very little change to this thing if they adapt the whole thing, unlike what I do with next one. I'll get to that one in a minute. Yeah, basically, they go see, like, he wants to see his one particular movie, but instead, Sun apparently is a big Bruce Willis fan. They call him Bra Willis. Yeah, he's basically a spoof of Bruce Willis. Though, the thing is, his name is a play on it. But here's the thing. This guy, who designed the image, and taking the manga as well, he's a spitting image of Bruce Willis. And apparently this movie is supposed to be, like, Lethal Weapon 3. But the movie is just a parody of Die Hard. And we see that there's also a little elementary school girl, which we later reveal in another OVA. She's actually young. She's actually Chimp's younger sister. Yeah, it's never mentioned here. And the movie goes fine. Of course, Masa's there for some reason. Yeah, and the reason why he's there, he's a big Bra Willis fan. That's the reason why he's there. And he sits right next to Nagasaki for some strange reason. And Maki's there too. Why? Because she wants to be there. Of course, there's a joke about her buying 2 shell tickets and about 2 meal schools. Also, Kai and Chimp are there too. And Kai wants to see Lethal Weapon. He wants to see the Bra Willis film, but Chimp's like, nah, well, let's go see his other film, the film that Nagasaki wants to sit through with Sun. But yeah, they take the elevator and they do pretty much nothing this whole particular short. Like, as soon as the next movie theater, everything goes fine until they mention, oh yeah, there was an oil tanker truck that crashed into, like, deal with a movie theater, like, crash building, and somehow, just by sheer coincidence, a oil tanker truck crashed in the movie theater, nearly burns down. Nagasaki, here it is, goes to rescue the little girl. Her name is actually Suru. Yeah, she's basically Chimp's younger sister. Yep. And he rescues her and he calls her Nagasaki Williams. And it's hinted that she's got developed feelings for him. She does come back in the following OVA, so at least there's a follow up to that. I gotta say, the first OVA is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. The second OVA is particularly very weird. Especially how they did this thing. Now, first of it is basically set with the cafe. This is from chapters 43, 44, 45, just page 1. 46, just the second page, and 47 pages 3 through 8. Yeah. Basically, Akano is based... Now, they do change the beginning of this particular thing, because they change the reasoning why she works at this particular place. Akano is hired to work at a cafe to pay off some damage. In the manga, it was because some fight she had with the 3 fishermen. In the anime, it's basically something she caused by complete accident, so she works as a maid. And from that point forward, proceeds pretty much the same. Of course, also Sun and Lunar join the staff, and they treat all the customers perfectly fine. And then, of course, well, then we have Sun, we have Gozaburo, Masa, and I think, no, Sharky is actually not there, surprisingly. But Chimp shows up, and of course, also, Sir shows up, like, and of course, this is where Nagasaki figures out that she's actually Sur's sister. Yeah, here's kind of the thing. I read in the manga, he actually found out about her being Chimp's sister before this. In the anime, he found out this particular moment. It's a minor change. And of course, Kara basically just sitting there at the cafe, and yeah, there's a character who appears at in these particular scenes who's actually completely cut out because she actually appears in the next story. I'll get to her soon. And and then of course they had this funny little joke about like brothers and fathers, where I think it was like Sarah basically talks about her brother, and he starts spitting out coffee. And of course, Masa does the same thing. I think Lunar's father, who's also there as well, and apparently the coffee tastes bad there, so he starts shooting coffee out of his nose. That's almost so hilarious. Yep, it's a particularly funny little short. I kind of wish they'd have a little bit more from the manga for this one, and it's fun. And of course, the thing ends with the destruction of the cafe. Oh yeah, and the manager is completely different than he was presented in the manga. In the manga, he's basically a guy who's clean shaven and looks like he's got blonde hair and pretty decent guy. Here they just show an older gentleman who just cleaning glasses. And apparently this is the manager, even though this is not the character from the manga. They changed him for some reason. I don't know why. The second story takes from chapter 38. And this one, they adapt almost the entirety of this chapter. Yeah. This is take 38. And they cover from this one. First 13 pages, 26, 29, 33, 35, 37, 41 to 44. Yeah, this is the anime introduction to the character Sun. Not Sun, Saturn. Yes, Saturn. Who is an old childhood friend of Sun's. Yeah, they basically, they've been together forever and ever. Yeah, the whole childhood promise thing with the pinky promise. And, oh yeah, she does have mermaid form, and she's a seaweed. Yep, she's a seaweed. Yeah, they cut a lot of stuff with her basically here. Yeah, and they treat this particular short as a horror movie. Like you have it where Lunar and Nagasaki are actually home alone by themselves and they're watching a horror movie. Where's everybody else? Having a party and, well, all the adults getting drunk. And Sun being the only one who actually is not legally allowed to drink this stuff, she has to stay there at this particular place. Why are they drinking? The manga itself never explains it either. Like the anime doesn't explain it. The anime doesn't explain it. Like both the anime and manga do not explain why this part is taking place. Just that it is. And all of a sudden things will get creepy, and then of course something weird pops up, and then we cut the next day. Yeah, they completely cut out what happens next. What happened next is that Nagasaki got a chance to meet Saturn for the first time, and when he introduced himself, she gets angry because she thought that he forced her to marry Sun, but I'll go sort it out in a little bit. And we cut the next day. Yeah, this point forward, it's exactly the same until Sun shows up. Yeah, for some reason, they keep her hidden the whole episode just for her unveiling. Yep, and he creeps everybody out. Apparently all of the students disappear. And when Sun shows up at school, like everybody's like missing for some reason. And it turns out this is all Saturn's doing because she misses Sun and the fact she came here to play. Though the thing ends with her basically leaving, and that's pretty much it. Oh, they do make one small change here. Like they have her drinking water. Now in the manga, it's Nagasaki who starts doing this. In the anime, it's Sun. That scene actually, yeah, like I said, that scene's in the manga. All they did was change the character. That's all I did. It's an okay story. I like the character's fine for what she is. I kind of like the way they portray her in the manga better because in the manga she gets a lot more to do. Oh, and the stuff they cut from the maid cafe stuff. Yeah, that's all Saturn scenes. Why in the world she was cut off for? I have no idea. But yeah, of the two OVAs, first one I thought was pretty good. Second one was pretty good too. Though I thought it was kind of But when it fails, the second one is the adaptation, because they cut a lot from these chapters for some strange reason, and they just proceed just to do it that way. Yeah. So now moving on to final thoughts in the anime. I love this anime. It's really good. I hated the ending of the series because you have the character defeating a filler villain with a Super Saiyan type. Well, no, they actually do establish the fact this was something they did before, but this whole scene is complete filler. Yeah. But I kind of wish they would have finished adapting the series, but they probably had to end it because they caught up to the manga too quickly. That's just my personal guess. But if they ever basically try to readapt the series again, like basically do a continuation of this, I would probably suggest ignoring the last couple episodes because it really amounts to nothing. Yeah, you can pretty much just ignore those episodes, and you can just start from chapter 18, then do 29, and then go from 30, and then go to 32, and then go from 35 up into the final chapter. I mean, overall, you can kind of say that Foley-wise, the anime only adapted, from what I can tell, most of the first 34 chapters. The only one they did not adapt, I thought 29 was adapted for the second OVA, but nope. That was not adapted. It was basically over 38. So I would just basically do 18, 29, 32, and then go 39, 35 to 76, and should be perfectly fine after that. Though I think in the case of like 30, when they get to 38 to 44, I hope they do a much more closer to the actual manga than what they did here, like not cutting out stuff, because you don't really need to keep Saturn hidden for. I thought that was kind of dumb. And plus, Saturn herself, when I see in the manga, is a really cool character. And, of course, she's a lovely woman. And they actually do show off what she actually did do in the manga, in the Omake, where she's become the English teacher. Which, yes, this did happen in the manga, but she wasn't telling him to swear in the classroom. Yeah, where she says, one of the things she tells him, repeat after me, is, "Son is effing good." I'm not kidding. That's what the OVA did. It's one of the most dumbest OVA. Animation-wise, it looks interesting, but I didn't like the lines they had. I thought it was really kind of dumb. I didn't see the Olmec they had for the first one, but it wasn't there because here's kind of the strange thing about the OVAs when it comes to this series. I thought it'd be on Funimation. Nope, because they were never dubbed. So I went to one of my other websites to basically go to. I had it there, but no subtitles. So I had to go through a couple different websites to find these OVAs. Eventually I found it on another website. I'm not going to say what it is. And I was able to watch it. Perfectly fine. Animation-wise, really good. Looks like these two look like they're pretty good stories. What they suffer from is the adaptation. Not the case the first one. The second one suffers from that. But I would probably think that the chapters they adapted for these two OVAs would probably adapt it first if they were to do a season 2 for the series. I would just start from that point and then go straight forward right after. Just go 18, 29, and then go from 35 all the way straight to the final chapter. That's pretty much how they would. How I would suggest doing it. I mean, there's overall 76 chapters, and since they have to like 33, so there's like roughly, I think it's like 43 chapters left. 43 chapters left. I mean, how many episodes could that make up based on how long these chapters are? I mean, if they do like 2 chapters an episode, you could actually probably do 1 chapter episode. You could probably do at least about a couple seasons out of the amount of material that's left. It's possible you could do that. But who knows? Because it's been 13 years since the series ended. And who knows? Yes. The thing is, it's not exactly well-known anime. I just randomly found it on Wikipedia. I thought, okay, this is like interesting. I mean, the main reason why I decided to watch this series is because Todd Peppercorn. That's the only reason why I watched it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really damn good series to watch. And I do recommend checking it out because you might actually enjoy it. I mean, yes, the main characters are middle schoolers. And it's a series in modern day. It does have some stuff basically you might like seeing in anime. Like, there's a beach episode, a shopping episode, like, the whole thing going to the movies. I thought that was really nice. It's like the type of episodes that you probably like to see in anime. But, yeah. It's good. Of course, you have occasional middle school hijinks, so kind of like middle school hijinks. Oh, and also, because it's a Japanese anime, let's have scenes on the rooftop. Yes, they have that here too. Yep. So not much else to say about My Bride is Mermaid. But yeah, next series is My Girlfriend's a Slutty Virgin. That's the next anime I'm going to do. But next I'm going to do reviews for, of course, next is going to be a Comic Corner, will be hopefully reviews for the specials for Case Closed. Yep. But see you next video. Bye.